Okay, today we're here at Sterling Flight School, and here's one of the setups. This is a basic setup. They got another setup over here. Which plane is this one flying?
It's for archers.
Archers?
Yeah.
Okay, this is for the archers. If you guys watch that series, man, Archer, the Green Archer and stuff, comic stuff, man. Hey, but anyways, listen, they got the 3-screen, the way you can sit in, and what it does is it gives you the effect of, it's almost like a 2D, 3D thing, It's not really full immersion of fifth-dimensional stuff, but it gives you more in touch with reality rather than just the virtual reality stuff they had. They tried that before, but it doesn't orientate the pilot with the physical aspects of actually flying. So this is the next best thing, besides the motorized stuff that the military has where you're going and all that other stuff. Okay, so anyway, so we got the tripod here. You can look left, right, and straight forward, okay? And they got some of the instrumentation here, so you have the ability of understanding some of the instrumentation that's in the actual cockpit of an aeroplane, okay? You got your different functions here. I don't know what this is for. It's probably for a helicopter, I'm not sure. I haven't really been in this one, son. But, yeah, probably your lift and descent for your helicopter stuff. I forget what that was. I watched a video on it the other day, but anyway, so you got your flight stick here, and you got probably your weather stuff here, and you get your instructor here coming here to help you out. Hey, you want to show me what some of this instrumentation is? Yeah, I'm not familiar with all the instruments, man. This is why you have flight instructors, man. Now check this out.
It's called a G1000. So this G1000, it gives you all your artificial rise and airspeed, your altitude, does moving maps, tells you where your airspaces are, your frequencies, and all that kind of different stuff.
Okay. And what's that thing called where if you get off course, they got like this little line of sight that you can get up and then to get you back?
Yeah, your artificial horizon.
Yeah. Okay. And then these controls here. Oh, cool. So this is where you get to ask questions. Now watch this. See that? You got a lightning bus here? The lightning bus?
So no, so all this is a simulator, so it's just a magnet. It just shows you what in the actual airplane that these circuit breakers would be.
Okay.
And like this is called your ELT switch. It's not an actual ELT switch, but it's just a diagram to show you what it would be like on the actual. So
this is your lighting bus board?
Yeah.
Okay. So you turn it on and all your lights come on, all your instruments?
So this is just your circuit breaker. So it tells you if you get an overload on amps, that circuit breaker would pop.
Okay.
It would tell you that's your problem.
Okay, so these are all your circuit breakers for your different instrumentation?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you watch the video that's down below this one and the pilot was flying and he's trying to reach over to the right and he's got his bus board, that's what he was reaching for. So you got some of that with the actual stuff that's going on in here. Now, you tell me what the carb heat and alternate air is for?
Yeah, so carb heat is a carbureted aircraft. So instead you have fuel injected and you have carburetor. So your carburetor means that your fuel goes through a carburetor, which is almost like a filter. Your carb heat can ice in icing conditions. So to prevent icing, you turn your carb heat and it just applies engine heat to your carburetor and de-ice.
Okay. And then what's your this here you got your pitot heat?
Yeah.
And what's that do?
So your pitot heat, your pitot tube tells you your airspeed, along with gives you pressures into your couple other gauges you have in your airplane. So in case of icing conditions,
Humid air and it's cold and then it can ice up in the tube and the air won't be able to travel through.
Yeah, so that has a heater built into that pitot tube, and you turn that on and it melts the ice.
Okay, so you got all these instrumentations you got to memorize, man. And now check this out. Okay, so what they do is this is called their ground school. Okay, now who makes this? RTD by Fresca. Where's that at?
Fresca is in Illinois.
Okay, so Fresca is out of Illinois. That's your RTD. Okay, and we know what RTD stands for?
No, don't mind.
Okay, so we got RTD out of Illinois. All right. What does it take to turn this thing on? Let's see what it looks like. Okay, now how's this seat compared to an actual airplane seat?
They're pretty similar.
Pretty similar?
Yeah. They're not exactly the same. They're pretty similar.
Pretty similar.
Your airplane seats are just standard car seats almost.
Okay. So your airplane seats, it's for like the Cessnas and stuff like that, right? Okay. And then running off Windows or?
I believe it does run off Windows.
Okay. And you guys are using software from Fresca?
Yes, yeah, they download all for us.
Okay, cool. That's pretty cool. And the auto starts up and everything?
You'll see it launch here in just a minute.
Cool, man. Okay, now if you're coming in to do your ground school and your simulations and stuff with your simulators and stuff, man, when you go to do the real piloting in the airplanes, man, what do you suggest for students to do before they come down to do the actual flights?
If they haven't started at all, I mean, I would just recommend basically doing a discovery flight and starting, kind of get you an introduction and make sure that you are good to, you don't get airsick, and that's what you actually want to do before you spend a lot of money.
Okay, and then and after they do that, they come in and they do the ground schooling. When they go to do the actual flight, are there any kind of recommendations?
I mean, yeah, so we take care of all the ground schooling in the flight portion, so really all it is you just start and you're good to go.
Okay. So would you recommend sleep the night before? Good sleep.
Oh yeah,
plenty of water.
Want to be well rested.
Okay. Physical shape.
Yeah, I mean, you want to make sure you're healthy and make sure you're not needing medications or anything like that.
Okay. And then you guys do the walkthrough with the plane inspections and tire pressure checks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, does the simulators do any of that, or do you do any of that?
Not in the simulator. You don't have.
Okay.
Pause system test.
Right. But
okay.
When you do the flight simulator stuff, do you at least talk about it?
Yeah, when you're in the simulator, you'll go through a starting procedure just like you would in the airplane, but you don't do a pre-flight. Okay.
So so is there anything you think could be better with the simulators?
Could be better.
Yeah. Everybody's got to say, man, this has got to be better. I mean, most of these instructors and pilots, man, they go, man, we could probably do this better. And then,
I like the full motion sim a little bit better than this.
Was the ones that go like, and actually move?
Move and everything. But, I mean, I think the sims have taken leaps and bounds from what they used to be. So it's
well, yeah. Well, it's just the ones in Myrtle Beach where the A10 simulators used to actually have the hydraulics and stuff.
He doesn't serve them. You would have to offshoot that, but he knows it.
Okay. So this is a basic. What about the? You got another one? You said
this is our only one that's operating right now.
This is the only one you're operating right now. So you guys are doing what? Basically the Cessna flights and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we have our Archer and our multi-fin flights on this.
Okay, and that's the dual prop.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then pretty cool, man. All right, so this has got your hours of runtime. This is what your nose up or nose down, you see? So we got roll gauges. And then they said they need they're calibrating some other stuff. Okay. Pretty cool. So look, this is all the serious, crazy looking stuff you got, but an actual airplane, it looks a little cooler than this. I went up and talked to a pilot in a commercial airline when I was a kid, and it looks like Microsoft Simulator basically. I mean, not this, but that's what it looks like in the real airplane. So this is actually pretty close to what it looks like in an actual airplane on a commercial airliner too. So that you guys know. So anyways, this is an actual thing, it looks like a little joystick setup, like your little game Nintendo systems and stuff, but you come down here and it's got like the real deal stuff. So there you go. This is a basic flight simulator setup. So this is where you get started, and then you go see the instructor and they take you out in a real plane, man, and you have a lot of fun. But even though you're coming in and you're doing just this, okay, before you go on a real flight, you should act like you're going in a real airplane every time you sit down in one of these. Now, when I was a kid, before they had all this, me and my brothers took an Atari and we built like a It was built out of plywood and stuff, man. We built like our own little simulator out in the yard, man. It's like pretty cool. And then they started coming up with all this cool stuff. But anyways, so you always want to go in there like you're sitting in an actual plane, you know. So if you're gonna go do some simulated time, you have to develop the habit, you know. And we like to call that in psychology, we call it, learned habits, learned behavior, you know. And so what you do is it's called repetitive practice, you know. And what you do is every time you come down to the simulator, you do everything you would do before you go on an actual flight, period. No questions asked. That way, you always have the repetitive action of learned behavior of how to pilot an aircraft. Getting sleep, proper diet, proper food, you know, proper amount of hydration, the whole nine, okay? That's what we say in the Navy, in the Air Force, in the Marines, in the Army, in the Civilian Air Patrol. When you drop the whole nine, that's need intelligence, you need education, you need simulation, okay? And to assimilate into a certain specific job, especially as important as flying an airplane around in the air, you go to the simulator, you simulate everything outside of the aircraft simulator and inside of the aircraft simulator, and that's how you make good pilots. We call that Top Gun school.